Hello, welcome to another You Ask, I Answer. What is slab worthy? I'm sure many people in this community that collect slabs have gotten this question from viewers from time to time. I'm just going to give you my answer. And it probably might be the same answer that other collectors share. But for some people, they slab the books for sentimental reason, even if the cost of slabbing is more than what the book is worth. Some people, slap the very first book that they got from mom or dad or grandpa or whatever it is. It could be a 2.0, New Mutant 24, some meaningless non-key books, but they want to protect it. Now, for me, like I said, people can do whatever they want with their book. For me, here's my first book. Okay, I talk about this book, show this book a million times. And for me to enjoy the sentimental value of this book, it stay raw so that I can smell it, touch it, feel it. Put it in a slab to protect. It's not something that I would ever do, ever do. But it's me. I like to do other things with my money, right? And for me, is a collector, and I'm not really in the business of collecting slabs. I slab books to sell. The monetary cost of slabbing play a big factor in what is slab worthy or not. Okay, since I'm not the slabbing for sentimental reason or slabbing to protect, I'm not in. Those are not the reason why I would slap anything. I slap things purely to resell later. There are very few books in my collection that I slap for keeps. The reason is they are for keeps for now. They could be for resales later. I said this many times before. I don't plan to sell everything, but 10, 15 years from now, if my son has little desire to collect, what's the point of keeping them 20 years from now, right? So who knows? We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But for me, because I focus on reselling everything that I slab, the cost is a big factor. When something, you know, you hear me throw out the a dollar value of, like, unless I can sell it for $100, I'm not gonna bother. In a roundabout way, that is my answer. But the logic behind that is, if a book, if the cost of slabbing something can be anywhere from 20 to 25 at the minimum, right? Because you got to factor in the cost of shipping and all that stuff, and then the wait time. That's another factor. But if it's gonna cost me $20 to $25 on a minimum to slap something, I want to get at least twice or three times the return of that $25. You hear me talk about double, right? I talk about how I shoot for a double when I flip for books. Like, I buy a book for 100, I want to sell for 200, right? That's my common theme that I talk about endlessly on my flipping videos or path to a key. So for me to buy something for 100 that I think can sell for $200 in a slab, guess what? That's where the cost of slabbing come into play, because it's expensive. Sometimes it costs more than 25. So for modern books, sure, it might cost 20 to 25, depending on the shipping cost and how many books I include in the order. But for other tier, it could be 30, 40, or even more. So I need to get at least $100 on a slabs that make it worth it for me to send to CGC. Okay, unless the resale value is more than 100 or at least 100, I would try to sell it raw for 20 or $30 or whatever it is I can get. Does that make sense? I think for most people, they approach it probably the same way, especially if they focus on reselling. If a book is worth $20 raw, and if I had to spend $25 to get it slab, and the resale value is $60 in a slab, why would I do that, right? what's the point of getting an extra $5 or $10 in a slab? I would rather sell it raw for 20 bucks and be done. Okay, so I like to at least double or triple my return on the cost of slabbing. Okay, so if it cost me 30 bucks to slab something, I hope by slabbing it, the incremental profit on top of the 30 bucks is at least 30 to 60 to $100 or more, whatever it is. So that's how I determine when something is slab worthy or not. Now, all that being said, there has been occasion where I slap something that is not slap worthy, and those occasions are education moment. I haven't done that in a few years, but in my first 2 or 3 years, like from 2008 to 2010, my first 3 years of slabbing and learning to grade, I submitted a bunch of books over those 3 years that have flaws that I didn't know how to handle. Like a book with the cover detached at one staple. Otherwise, it would have been a 9.0. What happened to that? I submit the book, I got a 6.0, so it helped me to grade books that have the cover detached at one staple. What about centerfold detached at one staple? Same thing, I have a high grade book, could be a 9.2, but it has a staple detached. Submit the book, come back 8.5. So it helped me to formulate the grading standard. So for sure, I have done this over the years, and occasionally I will still do that. If I see a book that have a certain flaws that stop me from guessing a grade, and the book might not be worth slabbing, but why not? In the early days, I submit books with stain of different sizes just to see how much they get impact. So to me, part of the, slabbing is also the cost of education. Like, I don't mind not making a profit on the cost of slabbing if the situation is for education. So I will do it from time to time. And right now, if I have to think on top of my head on like, gee, what flaws is it that I would submit to CGC to see how it would impact the grade? Maybe book with missing chunk. Okay, I have submit many books with small missing pieces, but not something like, you know, a 2-inch by 3-inch chunk or something like that, something that might keep a book from a 1.0. But there are always flaws. You know, I can't think of anything off my head right now, but from time to time, if I see something that stopped me as far as what the grade can or cannot be, off the CGC, that book will go. It has been a while. It has been 2 or 3 years since I've done something like that, but no doubt I'm not shy in spending the money to learn. And that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.